I've not seen this, so we're watching this together as friends on the internet.
Okay, next. This is the Gator Game War. So there's the brain trust of the Gator Gamer and Ranbot decided to talk about the Shondo thing. I've actually not watched this entire clip, but I'll play it until I get bored of it, and then I'll explain the happenings as of this. This is Ranbot vision, so this is like full on retard view.
Let's see if I can fucking scootaloo this on without like giving away too much personal information. Because Gator sent it to me in a DM. Oh no, that's great. You do your fucking thing there, you stupid browser.
Anime extremist for once is up.
So for those who don't know, you may have heard of this little character called Shondo. That's a spooky goth VTuber.
Mm-hmm.
She, we played the clip. She go like, "Yeah, I'm a man. I'm a 6 foot 8 foot tall man. I'm sorry, I got words for you. If you hear a feminine voice and you say it's a man, you're gay." She's that one. Anyway, so her mother committed suicide recently.
Unfortunately.
Ripperoni, and obviously that affected her, and she took some time off work. Well, she returned. She returned to streaming yesterday after, I don't know, like a month, 2-month hiatus. I couldn't tell you. And the fags at Kiwi Farms went and did a dox on her. And they were very proud of themselves, and like, I don't know.
Let's correct the record. People. It was a phone booking. Someone just went to the phone book and looked it up. It's completely fine.
Clapped. No, I'm serious. Like they went and did like a big announcement on the Twitters, going like, "Hey guys, we committed another crime. Check out."
What in the name of Christ is the point of that?
I don't think that we did announce it on Twitter, because I wouldn't have linked to that. I wouldn't have promoted this person. I could be wrong. I don't remember doing that though.
There is literally no point. There's nothing to be gained from it. So, okay. Now I know what Shondo's real name is. Great. But yeah, so they did this like full on doxing thing. They were very proud of themselves. They went and posted on the Twitter, go, "Hey guys, we've got the dox on Shondo." 9 people clicked like. 9.
Oh, so like Sprite Header or somebody, because I think Sprite posted this. Yeah, Sprite Header has his own Twitter account, so which is obviously a much smaller following than the forum account or my account. And I guess he shared it on his Twitter because of whatever reason, and then he's like, epically owned. Only 9 people cared.
How many people care about like Kiwi Farms fake and gay shit? So of course, because Josh Moon is incapable of learning, not recalling how well it went for him the last time he went after VTubers, he's mad at the internet. I think he was actually live the same time Shondo was. So Shondo's getting like thousands of viewers.
Bro, I'm not comparing myself to a fucking lollipop. Dude, what a fucking... If you don't know, Ranbot's actually brain damaged. He used to serve in the Australian military, and he was dismissed because a ammo crate fell on his head, physically fractured his skull, and scrambled his fucking brains. So if he sounds like it's because he's actually
getting showered with attention. All the other VTuber girls there are like doing raids and like...
That's like the most basic bitch cope ever. Like, whenever a lolcow gets confronted, they will compare popularity. And it's like, nobody's looking at that OnlyFans girl that sucked 1,000 dicks and are like, oh my god, she's making so much money. She's better than you because she makes more money and gets more people. Like, nobody thinks that way except people like Ranbot.
Meanwhile, little broken dick Josh is here in his goon cave.
Oh no!
To his little audience of chuddy buddies.
Chuddy buddies. Chuddy buddies. Oh my, that's so cute. Can I get a shout out to all the chuddy buddies in the chat?
Himself off about how like, I got the dox Shondo and she's like a lolicon or whatever. And so it's so fucking ghoulish.
Ghoulish, yeah.
The juxtaposition of Josh Moon being a ghoul. Like trying to blow up, like
what you looking at, smooth skin?
Blow up the spot of someone who's returning back to their job after losing their mother, and he's been a ghoul about it. And the funny thing is, as usual, his audience turned on him a little bit. Here, Gator sent this to me.
Oh my God!
Like, part of Josh's whole
Gator, hello, Gator. Wake up, Gator. This isn't a dream; it's a nightmare, Gator.
Like, Shondo's a lolly, and Gator likes Shondo. Like he seems to have now developed the same obsession with Gator as he's had over me.
How many times have I ever shown Ranbot on stream? Does anyone? I think it might be fewer than 10 times since 2019. Rand, feel free to count. If I'm wrong, I'll admit it on stream. Okay.
Slimy fat. Like many such cases, right?
Thank you. Anime extremist for one says, I was talking about Pantsu, not Shondo. Shondo says edgy stuff as part of her personality. What she said in the clip was not a good look, and I don't like it. Bro, she wears a pacifier. Her character talks like a fucking toddler and wears a pacifier.
By the way, the odds of Mushmouth, the irony of Mushmouth Josh.
the irony of Mushmouth Josh. Come on, bro. I love it. I've done that too, where I've like tried to criticize somebody for flubbing a line, and I like totally butcher the English language in the process. I think there's like a thing in your brain where if you actually are going to try to stunt on somebody for speaking like it's just like, nah, buddy, not today. You're about to have an embarrassment.
Saying that other people talk like a child. Josh, you talk like a child. You sound like a special needs child, Josh.
Your fucking head checked. Shondo's mom died recently too, and she's talked about mental health problems in her family. Although I don't really watch her, I genuinely feel bad for her. I mean,
this is the point of contention.
I'd feel bad for her if she wasn't a lolicon with a pacifier in her mouth, talking like a retard. Like,
once again, Josh, don't ever accuse someone else of talking like a retard. To sound like a retard.
Stupid is as stupid does.
Yeah, really. Stupid is like stupid does, isn't it, Josh? Yeah.
He's just agreeing with me.
Josh,
just like violently agreeing with me. Like, yeah, this guy's right. Thank you, Cat.
Fucking ghoul. Usual,
yeah,
complete failure, complete L.
What? Okay.
Yes, Josh. No, the Big Mac. Josh didn't just dream about killing his mother. He posted extensively about it. He wrote a fucking War and Peace size like fucking post about his fantasies about killing his mother, which went so in depth as to he wanted to kill her 2 cats first.
What? Absolutely not. This guy just makes shit up off the top of his fucking head.
And have her see.
Scott did die, by the way. He died in a house fire that her boyfriend set, and I cried like a fucking bitch over my cat.
The dead cats before he killed her, because he felt like she gave the cats more attention than him.
He's just literally just making shit up. He's writing fan fiction.
Yeah. So as I said, like, you know, stay charming, Josh Moon. You are a ghoul. You are a subhuman piece of shit, and your gay ops failed yet again.
What? She did get looked up in the phone book, bro. What gay ops? Gator, by the way, sent this to him because that clip you heard was apparently. By the way, he's saying that my plan to collect payments through automatic bill payment is check fraud. Someone going out of their way to set up a payment system that sends checks to me with their own money to a legal entity that pays taxes is check fraud. So that's how desperate Gator is to see us go down. He's hoping that I'm going to cash a check and FinCEN from the fucking FTC is going to break down my fucking door with guns drawn and just blast me for it, for check fraud. Fucking imbecile. This dude's never made money that wasn't through, like, how do you think you get paid at Subway, Gator? How do you think Subway writes you a check? They have fucking bill pay. They send you a check in the mail. Or they do ACH, or they do a wire. Like, how do you think you get paid? Then Ranbot responds, that's not going to work. I wanted to know if we had a countdown to no more Kiwi. He says, once this backfires, I imagine it will happen pretty quickly. And then he links this. And he goes on Twitter, and he says, No, it was Sprite Header that posted it. Apparently, Sprite Header, the guy Kiwi Farms Josh got to make the anti-VTuber thread, got fully exposed after picking a fight with DSP detractors, and it turned out he worked for a literal Antifa and ESG analyst group in the UK. Guru wins yet again by doing absolutely nothing. This is a fail dox by like a known schizophrenic whore, and Gator just believed it off the top of his fucking head because he's retarded. This was him sucking some VTuber some more. And then... That's not it. I was responding to Harry Morris about fucking VTuber shit, which is just insane. Where is the good part? Talking about Alyssa Mercant. Okay, this is it. This is from the Anime Boomers. Honestly, I don't know what's wrong with this Scorpion from MK guy, but I am going to have to reluctantly give him an Achievo because he apparently listened to an entire episode of Anime Boomers. I don't think anyone's ever done that. I don't think even Gator has listened to an entire episode of his own podcast. But this is apparently about me. Let's see.
Well, I guess really to kind of summarize it, so what Alyssa Mercanti was trying to do is she was trying to essentially dox a bunch of YouTubers that she didn't like by tangentially including them in her like latest filing and trying to say, oh yeah, well they've talked about the case, so therefore they're interesting to the case and they're people that she plans on like pursuing or whatever. But it's obvious, and especially from like the things that she and her associates have said, it's obvious that the only reason why she included that in the document was so she could broadcast their personal information in a legal setting in a document that's publicly available, unlike a website like a Kiwi Farms or something, where people are more averse to go to that website because it's full of shitheads.
Sorry, Gator.
Literally, it's a public document, so that information
is
just always going to be
just like the information you can search on fucking Google to find out about people.
Kiwi Farms may not be there in like a year or two, but a legal document will always be part of the public record.
The check fraud, once the check fraud hits, he's already writing FinCEN. He's already saying, these motherfuckers are about to send checks in the mail. Contact the Postal Enforcement Service. They need to know about this. They need to stop this shit before it happens. So he decides to call me out because I made a post making fun of Gator. I said, Gator, the Lolicon VTuber enthusiast, and Rand, brain damage, Lolicon VTuber enthusiast, conspired to bring down the Kiwi Farms. This is about the check fraud thing. See, I've been working on a plan to let people use automatic check delivery to pay for account upgrades. This is check fraud because they don't like me. Gator responds and says, conspire? No, I'm laughing about how retarded your entire scheme to sign onto a credit union to use checks and bill pay because you think that's not going to trigger immediate red flags. Why would it? How is sending $20 to a P.O. box once a month going to trigger a red flag? I don't even have to enter in the PIN code on my debit card for purchases of $20. And calling you out for mocking a VTuber's mother dying because you're an irredeemable piece of shit that deserves all the bad stuff that you have, that happens to you, just like another person we know, which is supposed to be Ralph. You mirror images of each other. You just have a bigger fan base that gives you money unironically instead of ironically because you hold the Library of Alexandria of internet shit hostage behind your BPD meltdowns at the DSP board. I reply, and whenever, like, this drives the DSP people crazy, like, they'll write me, like, the massive essay. I respond to shit like a judge. I go through until I see the first thing worth responding to. I respond to that. I stop fucking reading. Unless your post is really, really interesting, I do not read it. Especially if we're like in an argument, I will go to the first point of contention and then we'll go from there. But I'm not going to sit there and litigate line by line every single thing in your post. So when he says this, I just do the immediate response, and I just say, I didn't post anything about Shondo's mother, you deranged simp. And the video was the one I just played where I said, I would feel bad for her if she wasn't a lolicon VTuber with a pacifier in her mouth that talked like a retard. And he thought that I was saying that about Shondo's mother. If you remember correctly, last stream, I didn't even mention her mother had committed suicide. I didn't bring it up. I didn't talk about it. I would find the subject distasteful on a comedy podcast. So I did what is probably the single most respectable thing I could possibly do in regards to this. I didn't talk about it at all. I completely ignored that, and I didn't bring it up. Meanwhile, on their podcast, which is supposed to be pro Shondo, they're like, actively they're using the silly words for it too. I can't remember what Rand said, but he like referred to it very flippantly. Like, yeah, she committed seppuku or something. And it's like, she was like, apparently she had like a chronic illness that was like debilitating and painful. So because she couldn't stand to live with the fucking pain. And then you got like people like Rand just like casually talking about it on their podcast. But meanwhile, I think if you're trying to be nice, you just don't bring it up. So he said I was talking about her mother, and I didn't. So I said that, and then he deleted all his posts. and then he went through and he reported all my posts. Basically, is what is the timeline of this event. So I guess Gator wins. I'm sorry, Gator. Please stop reporting on my posts. I didn't mean to upset you, Oshi, Gator. I didn't mean to. I'm sure your Oshi's really nice, Gator. I'm sure your Oshi ain't fucking weird at all, Gator. I'm so sorry, Gator.
Whoa, sex. Whoa, sex. Cunny, sex. Whoa, plap, sex, cunny.
I'm sorry, Gator. My crusade is not righteous in the latest. I've learned my lesson, Gator. Remember, this is the goth lolly VTuber. She makes jokes about goth and stuff. That's stupid.